Hello and welcome back to the Snook Nook. This week I had the chance to talk with Natalie Ray. Natalie is a watercolor artist and a member of the Asheville Gallery of Art, where we recorded our interview. There's just a little sample of Natalie's beautiful work here behind me, and I look forward to sharing more of her work and her story with you. Enjoy! And welcome back to the Snook Nook. I am Simone Snook, a realtor with Unicorn Realty of Fathom, and I am here today with Natalie Ray. Natalie is an artist and the owner of Natalie Ray Fine Art. We are currently in the Asheville Gallery of Art with some of her paintings on display behind us. So thank you so much, Natalie, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very excited to talk with you a little bit more. So first of all, where are you from originally, and how did you make your way here to Asheville?
So I am originally from Northern California. I grew up outside of Tahoe, about halfway between Tahoe and Sacramento. And I was there in my 20s. I moved to San Francisco, and I was there pretty much until I got married. I did like a year in Southern California, and I also did about 5 months in Barcelona, Spain, to discover the art scene there and to take some artist retreats, and I took some classes for a semester at the university there in Barcelona, and then I came back to San Francisco and I got married at the Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco, and then we put my stuff in the car and drove across country to Asheville, and I've been here ever since.
Where did your artistic journey begin? When did you discover that you wanted to paint?
I always loved art, but I never really thought of myself as a painter. When I was in my very early 20s, I would just start sketching and playing around with different mediums. And when I went to Barcelona, I went on, I just went there for fun. I always wanted to live in Europe, just took the chance before I got married to do that. And I took one watercolor class there and just fell in love, and I just took every class that I could find. And then after a couple weeks, then I signed up for a course at the university, and I just absolutely fell in love with it, and I've been doing it ever since. It's one of those things that still gives me butterflies. I stay up at night thinking about what I'm going to paint next, and just watch hours and hours of YouTube videos of other people painting, and I think about it all the time. So that's how I knew I need to make this my career.
So tell me a little bit about the paintings behind us. I was going to ask if you had a favorite subject or series of paintings that you
I always say, like, I show the stage from a different perspective, and that started because my husband is a musician. He's a trumpet player, and he was in Michael Bublé's band for 20 years. And so I would go all over the world with him touring, and I would take a ton of pictures, and then I would come back and paint from my pictures. And that was my first watercolor series. Well, actually, my first watercolor series was small mountainscapes, but from Asheville. My first big show was at Little Jumbo here in Montfort, and I did this one night only, and I had, I think, maybe 30 jazz musician paintings. So I did everything from my husband, other Bublé band members, Miles Davis, like just whoever I could, Dizzy Gillespie, like anything I could find, I would paint it, and then I did the one night release, and all those paintings pretty much sold within, within a couple weeks of that first show. It was great. So that really inspired me. Like, people might actually want to buy my work, which is something I hadn't really thought about before that. And my husband really supports this. I mean, he's an artist, a musician, and then so he understands like the kind of passion and like the need to create this art. So we kind of juggle. We have 3 kids. We juggle the childcare. Like, he's home with the kids right now, so I can be here to do this. So we both really support each other's art careers. So going along with seeing the stage from a different perspective, I was thinking about what else could I do. I've always loved dance. I took dance my whole life. And so I just started looking at dancers that I admire and performances that I admire, and did some, and I love France. I love Europe, as I've already said. So I kind of did a French ballet series, which is by Degas, but have my own, obviously my own take on it. Yeah, so that's 24 karat gold loose leaf that I use on almost all of my paintings. And then generally I stick with one shade of watercolor, like one pigment, and I just layer it, which creates the different colors.
In terms of the day-to-day, what kind of motivates you to do what you do?
Oh, I don't know, it's just something that I wake up and I love to do it. Like the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I go get my coffee and I'll just go and sit in my studio for even if it's just 5 minutes before the chaos of my day begins. And I really love just like looking through the paints, and I just never know what I'm gonna paint that day, unless of course I have commissions, which I do a lot. I usually do a couple of them a week. It's really helpful to stick with a series, so I usually always release a collection once a quarter, and so I stick with one theme for the paintings, and then I release them, and then I start back from square one. What do I want to paint next? And like this year, I have a show here coming up in November. I have a show at Mountain Madre in July, and so I plan those like way in advance. Kind of at the end of the year, there's a chaos of like the holidays and commissions and sales that way. January is my month to just kind of put painting itself, like, other than just for fun, on back burner while I plan out my year. And I just plan what I'm going to do for the whole year. And of course, I'm open to change if something is not inspiring me, or I come up with something I think is more brilliant or something, halfway through the year. But I really try, it helps me stay motivated and focused on making sure that while I love painting, but that I can also sustain us with 3 kids, and we have a mortgage and all of that goes along. It's also really important to me that I can make my career sustainable as well.
So when you're not painting, what are some of your favorite things to do in the area, or places to go?
We love going out to eat. We love supporting our local restaurants. Obviously, I mentioned Mountain Madre. They have my art there. The reason they have my art there is because I went there so much and I just loved it. And I talked to the owner about, I was like, can I put my art here? Because I just love it so much. And of course, the first time I showed my art there was in 2020, which we're supposed to have an opening April of 2020, which didn't happen. So then I reached out to him, a few months ago, and I said, hey, I have this new series that I think you'll love, and it really goes with your vibe, and maybe we can try to do that opening again. And he said, yes, let's do it again. So
that's great.
It's great. So there'll be 6 new paintings there, and that opening is on July 27th.
Okay.
And then let's see, other places, like I love 5 Walnut. We go to Modesto. We go to Marketplace, Simone's. There's just so many places that we love. We love a date night. My husband and I try to get out once a week for date night. Last night we went to Bull and Beggar. It was so amazing. Always good there. So yes, we have a passion for food.
Yes. Tell me a little bit about the Asheville Gallery of Art and the co-op here.
Sure. So Asheville Gallery of Art is a co-op. We have 31 artists, and we do a jury selection when someone applies to be an artist here, and I believe that's once a year. But we have 31 artists, so every day that you come into the art gallery, there will be a different artist working here. 31 artists, usually 31 days of the month, and we just share all of the gallery duties. We own it together. We have there's no one gallery owner. It's artist owned, and so we all take care of everything from press to housekeeping to finances. It's all taken care of by one of our artists. It's really great. We all work together, and we also rotate our duties so that not everyone's stuck with like accounting, if that's
not their forte.
Like fun jobs. Rotate those as well. And then once a month, or every month, there is a featured wall. So right now our featured artist is Beaty, and she has her own wall up there. I will have my solo show be the featured artist of the month in November. Yeah.
That's so cool. I love that you're all working together to help promote each other and share your art with the world. That's
Definitely. We're open every day, 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And every first Friday of the month is our first Friday art walk just in downtown Asheville. And so we're open from 5 to 8, and we have wine and snacks and just support or to celebrate the artists of the month.
Well, Natalie, thank you so much Asheville Gallery of Art to see Natalie's work as well as the work of the other 30 artists here. Thank you.